So the PlayStation Portal is officially 2 years old at this point, and with the latest update that we just got a couple of days ago, this actually became the console that Sony claimed it to be when it first released 2 years ago. To start off this video, I want to say that the PlayStation Portal it's a device that most either love or hate, and I get all the backlash that is happening online why this device even exists. But I'll tell you that I know specific people who actually love this device because there are scenarios where they cannot really play on their PlayStation 5s. So the PS Portal was the perfect device for them. Either they have a kid, they don't have a TV, an available TV. There are different scenarios where this came along and it was perfect for this specific category of people. But now with the latest update, we are finally able to play and use the PlayStation Portal without even needing a PS5 anymore. And this is a huge update because this is what this device should have been ever since day one. You don't really have to depend on your local console, the PS5. And while it did give us an update a while back where you can still stream a couple of games, this update that was just released allows you to play your majority of digital owned games that you normally play on your PS5. So think about it, if it is a game that you already had and played on the PS5, now if you wanted to take it on the go, the only thing you need is a stable internet connection and this device, and you will still able to continue on playing that game. You don't really depend on the PS5 anymore, and that is amazing. And a lot of people were asking about that, and I even know a specific category of people who would love to have this to play on the go, but they didn't want to buy a PS5 and also PS Portal. So now with the PS Portal alone, they can finally do that. Of course, there is a caveat because you still have to pay for the PS Plus subscription, and it's not even the lowest one. You have to pay for the premium one, which is a really expensive subscription at this point. So that is actually the main negative point of all of this update, and I was really hoping that Sony would at least give us the PS Essential, so the first category of a subscription, or either come up with a different subscription that will just allow us to play our already owned games on the PS Portal. And another big negative aspect of it is that actually not every game that you own digitally are available on the PS5. And I got some comments the other day and people were asking, so am I finally able to play games like GTA 6 that will come out in 2026? Hopefully, because at this point it just got delayed once more, and currently the new date is November 19, I believe, 2026. But the people were asking, so can I finally get a PS Portal and without needing a PS5 and I can play GTA 6 when it will be released? Well, I don't know that because it will all depend if that game alone will be available through streaming on the PlayStation Portal. Now to go quickly through this new interface, because we also have a new interface for the PS Portal, I like what is going on over here. First of all, you still get something similar like the previous update where you can either choose between remote play from your PS5 or you can choose the cloud streaming option. And if you go into the second one, then you have already several games that you can start and play on, but you have two different options as well down below. You can either still stream the old category, the catalog that you get with your PS Premium subscription, or you can also stream your digital owned games in the first category. And this is amazing because as a first impression, this actually works better than remote play. And even the streaming from the game catalog for me looked better to some aspect. I asked people around what their impression is, and some say that this is definitely an improvement, and while others said that probably it's on par with remote play from the PS5. But to some extent, even remote play, at least for me now, it seems to work better. I don't know if this is part of the update or not, and maybe it's just an impression, but I was able to stream Mafia All Country actually through remote play from the PS5 because I have that game on disc, which is another negative aspect of all this, because if you already have the game but on disc, then that will not be available through streaming on your PS Portal. So I had to still do remote play from my PS5 and it worked great actually. But this update also comes with some other improvements when it comes to UI. First of all, if you are doing remote play and you press the PS button, then you'll have a menu where you can mimic a bit the controls that you have on the PS5. So you can still go to the home menu or opening some different menus from the PS5. This has shifted a bit from the previous UI, but for me the most important one is that we now have on the bottom this option for troubleshooting, which does allow you to have some statistics, well, mostly network statistics for your streaming games. This will allow you to see how your internet speeds, the upload download speeds are going on, which is the option you choose, because you can also switch between 1080p and 720p. So if you have a more stable connectivity, you can use full HD. If not, you can go a bit lower. So there are some statistics that will help you out, and if you need it, you do have this option right now, which wasn't really there before. If I believe it's a great option to finally have. And we also have the settings for the cloud streaming, and here you can do several things, and the most important one for me, it's the ability to change the text size for your interface. It's again a nice little touch. If you need it, it's there, but I'm happy that we have it. Also, there is somehow an option that you can purchase new games if they aren't available yet, if you don't own them yet. But you cannot really do that directly from the PS Portal. Once you click on a game that you don't already own, then you'll have this QR code which you can scan using your PS app on your phone, and then you can move forward with purchasing that game already there. It would have been great to have this option directly on the console, but I do get it because you still depend on internet and something might happen when you are trying to purchase that game. But it's good that at least you have this option, so you don't have to go directly on a different device to do so. You can at least start this process from your PS Portal. And I have tried out several games, but there is something going on, not for all the games, but at least for some that I tried. And I have, for example, Spider-Man Miles Morales, which I was able to play before from the cloud gaming, and now you can play the game if you already own it on the PS5. But for some reason, the cloud saving doesn't work properly for me, so I had to start over a new save for this game, even though I already platinum it. So I don't know what's going on. And I heard others online that they said the same thing for other games as well. You also have to keep in mind that this isn't available in every country out there, so please look online before considering purchasing a PS Portal just for this update, because this is available in quite some countries, but it's not really out for every country out there. So please read before if your country is supported before considering this option. So there you have it, the PS Portal 2 years in. If you already know about this device and what it was actually for, then you most likely understood the importance of this device. It's not for everyone, that's for sure, but I do like that this ticks some boxes for some specific gamers out there, and that's what gaming should be. Everyone should be able to enjoy it, and if it's not for you, then that's fine. But I'm really happy that we finally got this update, and I did see a lot of people now considering getting the PS Portal for this update alone. If it's worth it or not, it's up to you. This device, I'm not sure what's the current price, but I'll put it right over here. But you still have to pay for the PS Premium, the top tier subscription. It can add a bit of money to the final price, but again, at least we have this option, and who knows, if everything goes well, Sony might consider changing this down the line. But most important thing for me at least is that the PS Portal, if it's doing well in sales, and I do believe that it actually surpassed the expectation that Sony had at least initially, but if this goes well, then maybe Sony will finally reconsider coming up with the proper handheld gaming device like the PS Vita. I really hope that will be the case. Rumors have it that probably we will, but who knows, time will tell. Until then, this is Silvio and this is the Tech Unravel, and I'll catch you in the next one.